What does it take to be a
back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go, 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 go.
Now we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
Back. Now we're back from the dead.
Are you ready? Let's go, 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 go.
Back from the dead.
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
We're back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to the channel, Ghost Girl Diaries podcast / channel. Have you seen how many views we've had on our podcast? It's hundreds.
Really? No, I actually haven't looked.
It's hundreds.
Wow.
And so we weren't taking it serious at first. So we're going to start re-uploading last time podcast. So it was Saturday. And this podcast will be uploaded as well. So we kind of have to change up like our intro here. So we need to introduce what it is. So this is a paranormal podcast for anyone who is brave enough to join our circle. That's a good one. Isn't that a good one? I am your lead host, Krystal Leandra, along with my co-host, Chanel Sherry, a.k.a. Channel Cherry, a.k.a. Shanae. So today, we're doing Dead Time, and we're talking about we kind of swapped it a little bit. Cat's sick, by the way, for anyone that's asking. She got sick overnight. We don't know what's wrong. She's alive, as far as we know. Napping. Yeah. Doesn't feel good. She will hopefully be back for Wednesday's Booze and Reviews Screaming Room. We're putting that off till she feels better because I feel like we need her input.
We all need to be involved.
Don't you think?
Yes.
Like, there's one episode we haven't watched yet. We're saving it for, that's like the third one. We've only seen 2.
Okay, yeah.
We saw the premiere and then we watched Island of the Dolls.
Right.
So we're going to give our authentic reaction. Aren't you excited for that?
So
So anyway, Kat will be back. She's just not feeling well. So Kat, we love you. You're literally just a few feet from us. Just get well soon. But today we're going to talk about something that affected all of us yesterday, right? Shanae. And this is that good old thing called being an empath. Which, honestly, I feel like all of us really, truly feel like it's a blessing and a curse. Is that how you feel?
Yeah. There's moments.
There's
where
moments.
yeah.
Right. You just want to shut it off, and sometimes you just wish, like, you didn't have those abilities whatsoever. So, it was a hard day on social media. It was one of those days where you just want to step away. And this was in release to Kobe Bryant's death with his daughter, along with 7 other people that were in the helicopter. That was really sad, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I think I told you guys first, and I saw it first on social media, and you guys were like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I think this really happened, and everyone was like, wait, is this real? And unfortunately, then you have celebrities you're talking about, like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and now you have endless stories coming out saying, oh, poor Kobe, people saying rest in peace, and you're getting like notifications. My cat's crying right now. He clearly would like to also wish them a rest in peace. What does it do to you as an empath, Chanel? Seeing that constant, like, clearly it's sad, right? Like, obviously, if you're an actual empath, you're going to immediately be like, this is really sad. You're going to put yourselves, in the shoes of, like, the family. So it's already sad. I'm not discounting or discrediting that it's not sad.
There's this weird thing I feel like that happens when something like this happens, where a big celebrity, I guess you could say, passes away. It's kind of like there's this weird stillness in the air, and everybody's just kind of like inside themselves, that like you are silent, you're quiet about it, but everybody kind of has that similar feeling of like,
to me it's like time freezes.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean like in real life, because like all of us were at home yesterday, and all of us were like literally lounging, like being lazy, did nothing all day. And I think it was because we were really affected by social media. And at one point I had to like literally just push my phone away, because I was like, I just can't do this anymore. It's just like, you can't like keep reading it, like as an empath, you just keep like reopening a wound and reopening a wound. Is that how you feel when it happens?
Yeah. It's like tiring, I guess you could say.
Draining.
Yeah.
Really draining. So I just thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about what being an empath means, and like being on social media, and what you need to do to sort of separate yourself from that, because I feel like there's not enough tools out there for people to understand, like, when you are an empath, you really feel like you're almost directly involved. Obviously, like, none of us know Kobe Bryant or his family.
Right.
But just reading about it over and over was, like, really, really draining for all of us.
Yeah.
So the first thing I have is detach, or what I said, just I got off social media.
Right.
I was like, I just can't do it anymore. I didn't even tweet all day. Honestly, I have days like this, not just in like the death of a celebrity. I don't know if you feel the same, but where I'll feel like there's so much going on that I literally I'm not on social media at all.
Right.
There's days I'm just not on at all, not even to tweet, not to talk, not to post. And it's usually because there's something going on that like drained me. I put up boundaries, don't you? I mean, we get haterade. We get people that hate on us, but I feel like that's not the same as like having like a very like draining circumstance, like something that keeps replaying and replaying. So basically unplug and detach. Like, literally, I stopped checking social media. What did you stop checking social media? How did you handle it yesterday?
I was off and on social media. A lot of the times, like, if I'm just, like, checking something or, like, watching YouTube, a lot of, because I know, like, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those different places were just filled with people talking about him.
Right.
And then what happened. And a lot of the times, like, I'll kind of try to stay away from those platforms and just, like, watch my favorite YouTubers. And, like, I don't know. Just
Change the topic.
Right.
Change your mind.
Yes. Right.
Get focused on something else.
If I'm, bored enough to where I'm on my phone on social media, it's more of like I'm just going to watch videos instead of just watching my timeline get filled up with all of this information about.
Well, it's just sad. It's like, it's constantly sad. And I feel like this stuff can be applied, though, more than just when it's a celebrity death, don't you think?
Of course, yeah. With celebrity deaths, it's huge because they're celebrities. They have a following. They have
Fans, people.
Yeah. And I think, actually, I had read today that TMZ was the first outlet to report about it. And that's the outlet that his family found out that they passed away. Yeah.
That's rough.
And so a lot of people were giving TMZ.
But, it can't, is it? Like, I don't know. Like,
What?
is it the media's fault?
I mean, no.
And
but also
can you control it? Can you really control it? Like, I don't know if it can really be
control
controlled.
the media?
Yeah.
Well,
Obviously
no.
not. Right.
You can control
So that's
which media
horrible.
you
Listen
watch,
to.
listen to, but
Right. That's horrible. Another thing that I have on this list is journaling.
journaling. Yeah.
Do you journal? My cat's clearly he journals.
I would like to get into journaling. As much as I write, you would think that I would journal, but I don't really that much. But it's something that I'm like trying to get myself to do more of.
It's a habit. I guess part of the problem with that kind of habit is you sometimes will beat yourself up. Like, I'll have days where I skip a day or skip 2 days here and there, and Malcolm's still just carrying on.
My
cat is just, Here's the truth. Let's be honest. My cat Malcolm has a very dire love for your cat, Izzy.
Yeah.
And he will stand outside your door and confess his love for your cat.
And my cat, she's petty, so she will sit by the door and listen to him basically confess his love to her. And then when I go to open the door to leave the room, she'll run. Yeah. She'll run away.
So Chanel's out here, so he knows.
So she's a little player.
Yeah. If someone's asking where Kat is, she's sick. She will be back hopefully on Wednesday when we do booze and reviews. But yeah, she got sick overnight, unfortunately, and she's been napping all day. She's only a few feet from us.
Hi,
hey,
Kat.
Kat, what's up? But yeah, she just wasn't feeling. She really tried to stream with us, and I told her not to push it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're just talking about social media and being an empath and how, like, different ways you can sort of step away from it. So journaling, like, going back to that, I do journal. I especially do dream journals. So, because I feel like personally, if I put like a really high like expectation on myself, like, oh, you should journal every day, the one day I forget, I will beat myself up about it.
Journal about that. I beat myself up over
like,
not journaling.
Ridiculous, you know what I mean? So long story short is I just told myself I have like predominant dreams, that's the day that I'll like journal. And it's been kind of more of a more realistic goal for me to like achieve. But it's kind of up to everybody on their own. But Kat is really good about doing like daily affirmations. So she'll do like mantras of like, okay, I'm going to set like top 5 things I'm going to focus on today. Not necessarily like to do tasks, but like today I'm not going to speak negatively about myself.
Yeah.
Today, I'm not going to beat myself up for forgetting to journal. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
She's really good at that stuff, and putting, like, out in the universe, like, what she wants, like, long-term goals, or she'll be like, in 3 months, X will happen. So she's really good about that stuff. How do you deal with energy vampires? Now, what's an energy vampire? People that suck the life out of you, quite
Right.
literally. This can be a friend, a family member, a coworker, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, a wife. It can literally be anybody.
Right.
And these people just, like, I don't know, I could get into, like, the emotional abuse side, but I think it's more of just about, like, them being so depressed and dark all the time that they, like, suck the energy out of you. Like, it would be like me going, oh, Chanel, like, I had such a good day, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't. You want to hear how bad it was? You know,
Oh,
like,
always,
all of a
like-
sudden, like, the slide.
Yeah.
So it's always, like, negative.
Finding the
Malcolm.
Malcolm.
Can I help you? Malcolm. I'm kind of live streaming right now, but it's fine. Okay, so what do you?
Yes.
How do you deal with energy vampires? And have you had them in the past? Or
Of course,
Right.
yes.
Mhm.
I just kind of try to stay away,
Mhm.
if possible at all.
Mhm.
Or if I can't, if there's, if it's a kind of thing where I'm working with this person, they're a coworker, so I have to see them on a daily basis,
Right.
it'll be more of like a very, very,
Like putting up like a bubble around
that,
you.
and also like as little communication with that person as possible.
Right.
If I have to,
Yeah, coworker is a tough one because I feel like that you have to really be mindful of anything they say to you and not take it personally.
right.
Because
Yeah,
that
'cause a
could
lot-
be draining too.
I mean, just for example, because I just started working at a job here in
Mhm.
Vegas, you always, and it's not just coworkers either, it's customers too.
Sure. Mhm.
There's like regular customers
Mhm.
that come in, or there was a customer today that was kind of on the level of like an energy vampire. Just everything was like, oh,
Negative.
well, you
dark.
know what I mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
And it can be draining if you're not careful.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention. Meditation. You don't like meditation. Or have you
I-
gotten better?
So I'm not the person that can sit there and just like be like in meditation.
Mhm.
My meditation, I guess you could say, is
Writing.
taking walks,
Or
writing,
writing. Mhm.
listening to music.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't sort of get myself to sit still and like not think.
You do know
Not
that probably
that's-
means you need meditation.
Right. But am I going to do it? Probably not.
I can only do guided meditation. I can do, like, if it's nighttime and I'm having a hard time sleeping, if I play, like, meditation music for, like, an hour, I can, like, zone out and then fall asleep. But if I'm, like, doing a midday meditation, there's no way that I can, like, meditate on my own. So I love guided stuff.
Yes.
Kat does too, I know that. I think she does work on some, like, regular without guided. But there's so many apps for it. And so, yeah, I swear by meditation. Usually, if I'm having a good day, I'll remember to wake up and, like, meditate the second I wake up for, like, 5 to 8 minutes. And that's where I start, like, positive affirmations.
I will admit there are a few guided meditations that I do have saved, like on a YouTube playlist,
Mhm.
that I'll refer back to if I'm like having trouble falling asleep,
Mhm.
for example.
Yep.
I'll try it, and usually it'll help me get into like the mindset of relaxing, going to sleep, that
Mhm.
kind of thing. But I forget the names of the things, but let me
I've
just-
only used apps. I've never actually used YouTube videos, but I'm sure there's plenty out there. While she's looking for that, sorry, I'm still sick, guys.
Okay. So sorry.
Go ahead. No, go for it.
Someone requested,
Mhm.
because I was like, "What do you listen to like as you're sleeping?"
Right.
For like meditation,
Mhm.
or someone that I was talking to, a friend of mine, she was listening to like Spanish while she slept,
Wow.
and she said that she did it for so long that
She
it
learned Spanish.
yeah.
That's cool. I don't think I could do that. I usually have to listen to, like, nature sounds.
Mhm.
So, like, my dog is now having an allergy attack. I think she's okay right now. I like rainfall or, like,
Yes.
thunderstorms. That's the kind of thing I can meditate to.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I don't,
Love
flutes,
that.
like, there's fluty stuff. That stuff annoys me.
Yeah.
It does, I don't know
like
why.
the really low, like.
Or
flutes.
yeah, sometimes,
Yeah.
like, or, like, wind chimes, like, it just gets on my nerves. But, like, it's preference of everybody.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to figure out, like, what works for you. So when you're uncharging as an empath or dealing with an energy vampire, water.
Yes. Oh my god.
But that could mean a lot of different things. Or maybe going for a walk by, like, a river, maybe going to a lake, maybe
ocean.
going in the ocean, maybe even just taking a bath.
Mm-hmm.
if you have a pool, because Vegas, obviously everybody has pools and hot tubs. I'm huge into water. I don't know how you feel about it.
I am obsessed with water.
Mhm.
I love the ocean. If I could live by the ocean, I would.
Mm-hmm.
In a heartbeat.
Yep.
I actually grew up by a lake, so I was always swimming in it. Love water.
Right. Me too. Well, and especially if it's like bath, Epsom salts,
Yes.
or like Himalayan salts.
Flower petals.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
don't, because I just like had to unclog my tub from doing that.
Yeah.
Literally.
When you have yeah.
Don't.
Unless you want to clean up a mess.
Yeah, I got those Lush bath bombs too, but they were black. They were made with like charcoal
Yes.
powder, and it
Mhm.
literally turned my tub black. And I had to scrub it like 3 times
Jeez.
with bleach. Yeah, it was really fun. Oh, here's a good one. Asking the universe to send back the negative energy and bringing your energy back to you. Calling your energy back.
Mhm.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
I forget to do it though.
Yeah.
I think you'd
I'm
have to
sorry,
really say
I-
that with intent, right?
What?
Calling your energy back from the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I guess
Yeah.
it depends on how like depleted you feel. I don't know if that would really work for me, personally.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, just being alone, that
Mhm.
could probably
That's
help
true
too,
too.
you
Yeah.
know?
hmm
Being in your own.
Well, that's an empath
bubble.
thing. Being
Mhm.
like, I just need space from like everybody
Yeah.
involved. Like, I just need space. Yoga. I'm into yoga.
I've tried yoga.
Yep.
I can't get into yoga.
I love yoga. I'm
I
obsessed
mean,
with it.
although I will say that it would probably be a good way for like stretching and that sort of thing
Mhm.
before you work out.
Well, I don't know. It depends. Like, I'm still kind of beginner, and I've literally been doing it for like 2 or 3 years. But
Yeah.
to me, it like forces you to focus on something.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing a pose, you have to focus on that pose,
Right.
and it almost forces your mind to like you're forcefully put into like a meditative state because you can't like you'll fall
Right.
if you don't focus. If you think about anything else, like even if it's like one of the balance 1 foot poses, you're going to fall. You'll tip
Right.
over. So I think that's why I like it. It literally forces you to realize paying attention to what you're only doing, and
Into your body.
well, it's also practice for day-to-day work, right? Because like any kind of work or job can get chaotic. Even Ghost Girl Diary stuff, you know that. Look how many papers we have out.
Right.
So it forces you to be like, okay, I have one thing I need to do right now, finish what I'm doing, and then move on to the next
That's
thing.
so interesting that you're talking about the focusing, because lately I will find myself, like if I'm working and I'm just kind of zoning out,
Mhm.
I'll find myself being like, focus Chanel, like actually verbally saying,
Mhm.
focus Chanel.
Focus.
You know?
You did that the other day.
I did. Yeah.
What
and
were
then
we
I'm
doing?
like,
Yeah, you were like, focus. I need you to focus. And I was like, okay.
but it
It is a reminder.
helps, like when you verbally say it out loud, then your brain's like, oh, we're
Right.
doing something.
Right. Okay. Remember focus what you're doing on. Gemstones, crystals.
Love them.
Yep.
Always love them.
Yep. Grounding. Another thing that it wasn't on this list, because I was kind of pulling stuff that I was researching offline. You can use different like essential oils, particularly if you wash your front door with mint.
Mhm.
It will bring prosperity.
And I think that also keeps ants away.
Well,
Mint.
we don't really have ants, but that's good to know.
Yeah.
And then
Is it
I always do mint on the floors too, and like you can add rosemary and like whatever. You have to look up all those properties, but I feel like as an empath, the point of this is not just gemstones or like essential oils. It's you're literally like creating the environment that you're in,
Mhm.
and it needs to be grounding, whatever that is. And I feel like it's different for everybody. Like, how is it like living at home in Pennsylvania versus living here?
Oh, like, what do you mean?
Like the environment, because I'm really into like the grounding the house and stuff. Does it feel like different or better? Because you couldn't really do that at home because you lived with family, right?
Yeah, it's very different as far as just like atmosphere in general goes.
Yeah.
Um,
You said the
But
first few weeks you were here, it's really quiet in here.
yeah.
Because I keep the house very like zenned out. I have
Yeah.
like incense machines that I have going and like steam rolling through. And I just remember you
Saging.
sage a lot
Yeah.
and Palo Santo. I remember you walked out one day, you're like, it's just really quiet quiet in here.
Yeah.
I was like, well, don't feel like you can't like watch TV or do something. You're like, it's just really zen. It's kind of weird. So
Right.
that does probably feel like, I guess you have to realize as an empath what works for you and what doesn't.
Right.
What
Main
helps
thing.
keep you grounded. What incenses do you like? What are your favorites?
Lavender.
Mhm.
I like lavender. I've always loved lavender everything. You know.
Did you
like
know
just-
I'm allergic to lavender?
Are you really?
I am I'm definitely allergic to lavender.
That's
Kat gave
Good
me
thing I have
essential
no
oils, and one day
incense.
she was like, "Oh, it's for calming." She's like, "Put it like on your wrists," and I did, and it was like flare up red.
jeez. That's like me with green tea.
Yeah. Yep. The face mask.
Yeah. It's
Yep. Lavender.
bad.
What
Don't
else?
give me green tea face masks or anything.
Or anything green tea.
What was the question? Wow.
Focus, Chanel.
Focus.
I was asking, what are your favorite essential oils?
Oh,
Or it doesn't have to be oils. It can be just regular incense.
I actually like dragon's blood.
Do you?
Yes.
And what is it for and why?
So dragon's blood is, well, it just smells good, number
Mm-hmm.
one. Number two, you can use it for witchcraft.
Okay, there's that.
Um,
I like woodsy scents. Like Palo Santo is a good one, but yeah, I like woodsy scents for sure.
yeah. What else? Frankincense is pretty good.
Myrrh. Mhm.
Myrrh is fantastic.
Yep.
I like exploring oils, like different kinds of oils, as far as like people make their own stuff and they infuse it with like real things, like real
Etsy has tons of that stuff.
yes, flowers.
Or, oh yeah, Crystal Shivers has a store too. I can't remember what her store's name though. I think it's Crystal. You should put your store in there. She has a bunch of essential oils too. She makes everything. It's really cool. Also, the other day, I am such a hardcore empath trying to zen out my space. I got in my car and I frankincense and myrrh and saged the car. Remember?
Yeah.
I literally did, and I have crystals hanging from like the mirror. I literally like want every space I have to be like zenned out. And I remember you got in, you're like, wow, it's really calm in here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just don't fall asleep in the car while you're driving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What about crystals and gemstones? Do you have any favorites of those?
Amethyst always has been my favorite.
For what and why?
Well,
Calming.
Calming also
Sleep.
helps with dreaming. I'm wearing tourmaline. Tourmaline. This is it's huge. Can't really see it. Can you see it?
I mean, pretty much. Yeah, there you go.
So
I don't have anything on today. I'm horrible.
tourmaline. I've been wearing this. It's great for if you work with like the public, like I do.
The public.
Whatever.
It absorbs negative energy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
I like a lot of
Energy
blue
vampires.
crystals, so like blue calcite, Amazonite, that's green-ish. There was one that I have, I forget the name of though. I think it's blue agate. Blue agate or something like that. So. Yeah, and then earthy, like the earthy ones, tiger's eye,
jade.
red
Carnelian. Carnelian's really good. Yeah, once again, though, I feel like those are things you have to find yourself, like what works with you and what you're looking for. Luckily, there's some really cool stores in Vegas. What's that one store that we go to? We should recommend it to people.
Realms Within.
Realms Within is a store here in Vegas. It's off of Sahara. It's right next to an In-N-Out burger in, like, Central Vegas. We just found that. Didn't we?
did.
Like 2 months ago?
I was trying to look for places because we went to
the big one downtown.
there was a bigger crystal store downtown.
It's huge. I think it's literally just called Minerals and Gemstones, or Gemstones and Minerals.
Yeah,
it's
something
literally
like that. But I was trying to look up different like occult stores.
more
And-
witchy stuff
or witchy
or whatever.
stuff, yeah. And I found the Realms Within and tried to go check it out, and I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Because
Park on the side of In-N-Out Burger if you're going there, because we walked around for like 20 minutes trying to find it.
yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. It's two brothers that own it. One of them does all the retail, and the other one actually like molds all the crystals and does like wire wrapping. And you walk in, and they have like this huge like crystal center island that's full of. It's all organized by like gemstone.
Right.
And then they have this sort of like, more of like a tree of life. Is that what you'd call it?
Yeah.
Like dangling, and all of the crystal like necklaces are dangling from it. It's beautiful. And they also incorporate numerology into it.
Yeah.
So all of their prices are like, so if you're buying a necklace, it's $17.77 or like $8.88. So it's all numerology.
$3.33.
Everything is like that. They also have a section of like tarot cards, and then if you find a crystal that you want wire wrapped, they can actually do it custom, which I feel like nobody does that.
Yeah, not a lot of people do.
No, and they don't charge much for it. So most of their necklaces are what, 12 to 15ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they do have, I wish they had a bigger selection of rings. I'm a ring person though,
Yeah.
but they don't. And then they have witchy stuff.
Yeah. They have
They have like cauldrons,
herbs, they have cauldrons,
sage, Palo
sage,
Santo. It's a really good
candles.
one. So far, that's our favorite, except First Friday.
Oh, right.
First Friday is really good.
Yeah.
First Friday is the first Friday of every month in Vegas. It's down in the art district. You can just Google First Friday Las Vegas. It's usually just locals mainly that go. We always go on First Friday, and there's this vendor. They have like a mall location. And it's not very good. The First Friday location's great, but it's temporary. It's only like a day, or 2 days, but it's huge. They have like everything, literally, and they wrap rose petals with the sage, and it's like beautiful. What else did they have? Rosemary with the sage.
They had a few like different flowers with
For
the
different
sage.
purposes.
Yeah.
They had the singing bowls, or what are they called? Isn't that
The
right?
singing bowls.
Yeah, we need to buy one of those. Okay, moving on. Sorry, we can get carried around with gemstones for like ever. Shielding yourself, bubble up.
Bubble up.
I feel like I do that more than anything else.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
So
I
how
mean,
do you
sometimes-
bubble up, I guess? How do we explain bubbling up? You literally like, when I'm getting ready to leave the house, I think at this point it's like an auto pilot sort of thing is yours, where I get ready to leave the house, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go deal with people now.
Yeah.
And I literally feel like this invisible force field is like I'm protected. And I feel like some people get really into it. They're like, oh, mine's like gold and it like sparkles.
I don't get into it that much.
I don't either. But I definitely bubble up.
A lot of the times, like, I'll wear grounding things too,
Right.
like necklaces
Yep.
or bracelets.
Or even just throwing a stone in your pocket could
Yeah.
be similar. With the bubble up thing though, do you have any funny stories of when you should have bubbled up and you didn't? Because I have a couple. I'll share mine first.
Go ahead.
I sporadically went to an antique mall here in Vegas and got out of the car, forgot I was not prepared for it, was not thinking about that, forgetting it could be very haunted. And I went in, and I've been into this before, this place. It's huge. It's kind of like a warehouse. It's the one I've been wanting to take you to.
Okay.
And as I'm walking through, I found this beautiful old like dollhouse. And it was like in perfect shape, but it was very old, and it was clearly like totally hand like cut and like, you know, put together. And dummy over here decides to put my hand on the dollhouse. Not that I wasn't like trying to like have an ability happen. Like I just wanted to, I just thought it was beautiful. And I started getting these weird visions of like, it wasn't good. That's all I'm going to say.
Right.
It was not good. And I got so sick I was in the bathroom at the antique store throwing up. Yeah.
Jeez.
So that's a really good example for an empath to forget that you haven't bubbled up. And I've done that a few times where I've gotten really sick and nauseous. Or the people that you're around, you weren't expecting like people like that to be around you, and it just... Or like I don't like it when I have like friends of friends and I forget to bubble up.
Yeah.
And they'll like, oh, they want to ask me about Ghost Girl Diaries and stuff, and suddenly I feel like I'm just like, this is literally like how I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're intruding on me, and it's like over too many questions. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, there was a time I was in college. I went to film school, and I was living with a bunch of different people. Like, it was like a female heavy house basically, and
But strangers
there were
still.
always like two people that would always butt heads with each other, And it seemed like I would always be the one that was like trying to diffuse the situation. But during that time, it was like, I should just not get involved. Because then I'm going to
be depleted.
Right. So.
But that's hard. How do you bubble up where you live?
Yeah.
I feel like
just
that's
stay
a little.
in your space, I guess.
That's
then it's
a lot. That's exhausting.
How are you gonna?
Nature. Just saying nature is like nature.
I think a lot of people would benefit from going into nature.
Yep.
Like I honestly think that there should be mandatory days where everyone go to nature.
Well, not only that, like, you are notorious for going even on the little tiny, like, trails around our house.
Yeah.
And they're not even, like, really trails, you know? We've all been talking about going to Red Rock Canyon and going for, like, a hike up there. When it gets warmer out, I want to go to Zion, which isn't very far, up into Utah. But yeah, I feel like nature is one of, like, the best. It's like air, and you're, like, out there with the air, and it's, like, open. And you're not, like, feeling like you're stuck indoors, like, with heat or air conditioning. And you could almost, like, be out there, and if you needed to scream to get it all out, and then it's over, and no one's gonna hear you. You know what I mean? Really. Yeah. It's, like, regrounding yourself, like, with the ground, which is very, very much an empath thing, right? Time alone.
That's a big one.
That's Chanel's favorite. I can tell when Chanel's had a long day, because if she has, she's like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And good night, I'm going to bed. And that's it. Let's see, where did I leave off here? I think that covers the big ones, don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
One of the good, someone loves your hair. Yeah. She's getting ready to change it, actually.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to
She's gonna go really dark. She's gonna go to the dark side.
Yeah,
finally. I'm already there. Okay. Specifically, how to avoid problems with social media as an empath.
Just
avoiding comment threads.
Mute, block, delete.
That too, but like, I'm not the kind, I don't know how you are, but I'm not the kind that, like, there's people out there that like to start fights. And they like to, like, antagonize and cause problems. You know what I mean?
There's
and, like,
always that.
Well, no, but I've watched it. Haven't you seen it on Facebook where people are just, like, arguing back and forth? And you're like, don't you have anything to do?
And the topic usually is just, like, so not... It's, like, such a... What's the word? Just, like, a mundane topic,
The problem is that not everyone is going to agree with you 100% of the time. And I feel like there's just combative people out there that really need to do some soul searching. Don't you think?
They're bored. Boredom.
I wish I had that much time on my hands. So there's one. Block, hide, delete, obviously. I've had people remake extra accounts that I've, like, muted and blocked.
Yeah.
And look, if you have time to keep making accounts and still coming after me, I'm human. Okay, I've been doing this for, 7 or 8 years now at this point. And I feel like at some point you're going to be like, I'm having a bad day, right? Like, do you have days where, like, you see haterade and you just don't care? Yeah. And then other days you're just like, I'm just really pissed off and
like,
annoyed.
I'm on that level where I want to be really petty and just, like, go at that person. Yes.
And then you stop yourself because you're like, look, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let's just go walk in nature for a little bit.
Take a bath.
Go chill. But yeah, so there's that. Turn off notifications. Yeah. Kat had to do that.
Yeah. Kat
was doing our social media management. Well, she has been for a few years. And she literally would have all the notifications on her phone, and she would call me from, like, hey, there's haterade. Of course there is. We have, like, 10,000 people on our Facebook page, and I think 5,000 on my fan page, and then that doesn't include all the other pages, you know what I mean? And I was like, Kat, there's going to be people that are just icky. Just ignore it. And so she literally turned off notifications, and she hasn't talked about it since. Filtering the information you receive, I feel like that's a big one. Mm-hmm. That would be based on, like, feed or, like, Twitter feed or activity or whatever. Yeah. I'm just gonna be frank about it. I definitely have political beliefs. I feel like all of us have definitely proven ourselves to be quite the feminist when it comes to film. But I get really drained with political discussion.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, and once again, like, you can't go in and have a negotiation with 10,000 people and expect all of them to, I'm talking about, like, in the threads, the
Agreed.
comments, you
Right.
know what I mean? So for a long time, I had to unfollow a lot of news outlets.
Yeah.
And it was because I just couldn't watch it anymore. And also, like, I feel like as an empath, no matter what side of the fence you sit on, it was triggering me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had friends that were, like, trying to, like, be combative, and, like, and I'm like, I just had to, like, completely unfollow and filter the information that I was receiving on my end. And what I did in return was I replaced that information with things that were kind of feeding my soul for the better. So I started following light workers and, like, positive affirmations and the universe, law of attraction stuff. Crystal pages, like with crystal, like topics, and, like, if you're feeling blue, use these crystals or whatever. So I kind of replaced my feed, and it helped rejuvenate it a little bit. But then you go back to a case where you have, like, the Kobe Bryant situation, which obviously is still so sad, but you start receiving those feeds 24/7, and it's like I had to step away.
Yeah.
I just need a break from this for a minute. Like my robot there.
Yeah, well, I mean, also though too, going kind of back to the like blocking people and muting them and all that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that I've seen that feel like doing that is cowardly,
Right.
and that's a weird, I don't know, in my opinion, that's just such a weird thought process, because you would rather subject yourself to someone that's just constantly negative than not.
Well, that's a good topic. Let's just take that and spin off of it for a minute. Being an empath, okay? I have recently been dealing with a stalker.
Yeah.
You're aware of the situation?
Yes.
It's actually kind of probably been good for you and Kat to understand what happens when you get a stalker, and, like, the steps I've had to take to implement things. And this person, I don't know this person. I've never met this person in my life. Ever. Not even. I have no idea who this person is. And they started posting stuff about me. They got really paranoid, thinking that all of my posts that I was posting on social media were about them,
Mm-hmm.
which it was not at all. Like, that's not, I don't think about this person every time I post something. Like, that's crazy. Who do I take into consideration when I post is my followers and my fans.
Right.
Because they've been behind me 100% since the beginning. So that's who I'm thinking about when I'm posting. And so this person got really crazy, and I had to, like, block, mute, dismiss them completely, obviously, and now it's being handled legally. But then they got mad that I blocked them on everything and all of these fake profiles they kept making, and then they sent their, like, personal friends after me. Like what you just said. They thought it was me, like I had
Right.
time to play this game.
Right.
And I'm like, wait a second, I'm, like, getting so drained by all of this. Like, it's just sad that people, I mean, I know it's a little bit of a tangent off of the whole being an empath, but it's still draining.
Right.
It's still draining as an empath. And especially when someone takes it that far. How is it a stalker if you've never met them? Direct threats, boo. Through all social media and email.
Do you think that celebrities don't have stalkers?
Right, yeah.
They probably haven't met half the people on their pages.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, like,
So, yeah, it was really unfortunate. And I don't like taking things as far as, like, being to the legal matter either.
no.
Because that's wasting my money with lawyers and dealing with it legally. It's not fun.
It's time and money.
It is. And unfortunately, I
Time
just
is
wish
money.
people could
Just relax.
go ground yourself with nature.
Like, nobody, it's really, like, don't take, I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
It's really
You
not.
know?
It's other people being combative, and that's where I feel like, in turn, I would never be combative with someone else, because I've had it happen
It's
to me.
just exhausting.
And it
you
is
know?
exhausting. It's exhausting even to witness, you know what I mean? Unfollow personal pages. I don't really have,
What is that? Wait, what do you mean by personal pages?
I wonder if Blake is on for modding. Here, take that real quick and read that over really fastly.
So, unless they are at heightened state of spiritual awareness where you can learn from them, unfollow them.
I'm thinking like if you're taking it in a point of Facebook, you can actually get notifications for like friends' posts and or like unfollow them for their feed. I think that's what that means.
Okay.
Yeah. Like if you don't want to see the feed.
I see what it's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't think I've ever done that, but I also don't have personal Facebook
So the part
pages.
where it says social media has become a hive mind, that is such a that's the truest statement I've ever read.
Social media?
Because it is, because like once you see that people are going at a certain person,
A hive mind, H-I-V-E mind.
everybody's going at the same person too.
Right.
Like everybody that has similar beliefs or just doesn't want to affect the status quo, that they will start attacking somebody, not even knowing
Right.
why. I've seen that so many times.
Right. No, I agree. Well, that's kind of like this person named Duncan that's trying to pick a fight right now. Saying, am I a celebrity? No, but when you put your life out there and you're streaming live for people to see, we have millions of views on Ghost Girl Diaries. I have had my fair share of stalkers. Sorry if you don't think
Keep
that I
in
could.
mind too, she's been doing this longer than we've been here. So
And that's not something to brag about. Do you think I love saying that I have a stalker that I'm having to deal with, like, legally right now?
it happens to regular people too.
Right. It's not a fun thing to
It's
do.
not something that's unheard of, so
Join or create groups of sincere like minds. I feel like that's a really good one.
yeah.
I mean, like, you and Kat, I've dealt with, like, you guys, we all know each other, like, extremely well. And we all have backed each other up no matter what we've done and what we've been through.
Yes, cancellation mentality. Yep, everybody's canceled, like that sort of thing. Because you know that happened with the James Charles situation. Cancel him. Yeah.
Well, also the apologies, too. Isn't that part of it?
The apologies.
Just, like, you know, being an empath, it's hard for me to watch all of these YouTubers constantly apologizing for something.
yeah, because what?
Because they, like, you know, like, I don't know. Some of them have done some stupid stuff, like, I'll agree with. You know, I'm not saying everyone's innocent, but at some point you have to just accept the fact that, like, you're not going to make everybody happy. And you can't just keep apologizing for stuff over and over again.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think I've talked about this in the beginning. I feel like I have, like, a hair on my nose.
I keep
I
doing
keep
the
itching.
same thing.
Maybe it's like a ghost and there's like a
Maybe.
spider web. I know, like, you know, I've seen these people where they're just like, oh, I feel bad, I feel guilty, like, I upset some followers. And in the beginning of when I started doing YouTube years ago, I would apologize for stuff once in a while.
I apologize so much. It's like,
I've stopped doing it because I'm like, it's, and like the comments too, like, it's so hard. I have the hardest time going through YouTube comments because although 90% are usually really good, there's still 10% that are bad.
yeah, and that 10%
And those
is,
get you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I really, as an empath, can't look through most of them.
And to be honest, a lot of the times too, the people that are giving you the most negative feedback, what are you doing?
That's true. Yeah, it is true.
You know.
But that's part of them being like womp womp and like where they are is like they're trying to tear you down because they don't want someone. They're walking away feeling better, even if it's.
ASMR. Sorry.
Are you chewing a cough drop?
Yeah. I didn't want to start doing it. And,
They're
like,
walking away feeling like, oh, I told this YouTuber what I thought and like off. They're also kind of an energy vampire because they're getting all these other comments from other people and likes, and it makes them build up their confidence
True.
of like being an energy vampire. Yet, like what they're saying doesn't make sense, and you're just being like a negative like hag. But you but you can't look in the mirror about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Diana apologized for apologizing to Chanel.
It's me, literally.
Oh, Chanel will be walking through it. I'm sorry, like, I
Like-
bumped into you, and you're sorry.
I apologize for what other people do.
This one's remove news articles, which I feel like we already kind of went over that one. Oh, that's a good one.
So that's something
Don't
I
start
struggle
your
with.
day off with social media. I don't.
Because I don't know, maybe it's just, I don't know,
It's just an automatic habit to like grab your phone,
Yes.
open it, look at it. The problem is that now you're setting those affirmations for the day of what you're doing.
I think for me, partially, it's looking at my phone, making sure I don't have any messages.
Right.
You know, number one, and then that kind of leads into looking at social media.
Well, see, and I stopped doing that. I used to be the kind where I'd wake up immediately and answer emails. And I started doing that, and I sent some emails that didn't make sense because I was half awake.
Oh, yeah.
So now my new process is I'll, like, wake up, I, like, meditate, set my gratitude journal, shower, and then I can, like, get dressed and function and work or whatever. You know what I mean? But, yeah, you don't want Krystal to start emailing someone at 6 in the morning. It's a problem. Big problem. Ooh, that's a good one for an empath, isn't it? So asking yourself if this symptom or emotion is yours or are you feeling someone else's. That's a really good one. I am not, like, I don't do that enough.
And I think also, if you don't even think that you're an empath, it's a good question to ask yourself anyway.
Right.
Because you are surrounding yourself with people on a daily basis, and then when it comes down to it, if you like feel like, you know, off one day, you have to kind of like go inside and sort of explore what's going on.
Well, that's part of the self-help journey too, though, don't you think? Of like saying, okay, sometimes when you're projecting out to everyone else, and like even empaths can be guilty of it, like it's being human is what it is. But if you're projecting onto other people, even if it's once, maybe it's time to look inside. Or if someone says something that triggers you, is it because there's some truth in it?
Right.
Do you need
you
to look
resonate
into
with
it?
something?
Yeah, like do you need to look into it for yourself? Or are you just being like super sensitive, which my mom's called me sensitive my whole life.
See,
And I'm not sensitive, I'm an empath, man. Like, it just affects me. You know what I mean?
people say like you're too sensitive, as if
Ugh, I've heard that
if
my
it's
whole life.
because I've had, yes,
You're just
I've had so
sensitive,
many-
Chanel.
and it's like, you're
Here's my answer. If you could feel what other people's emotions felt, you would be sensitive too, okay? Because sometimes it gets overwhelming.
You know what I really can't handle? Being sensitive is animal abuse. Really can't.
I can't watch those stories because it just affects me.
And I follow a lot of pages on Facebook that are animal related pages, not necessarily like rescue, just like, you know, I love pit bulls, whatever page. And a lot of the times they'll post about other people who have lost an animal.
Right.
Like they need to find this missing animal that, or somebody abused an animal. It's just like it leads you down a really dark
Oh man.
path.
I get really angry with those people though.
It-
I get really dark thoughts about what I'd like to do to
homicidal.
people that are animal abusers. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't go down that path, because it's like...
Yeah, and then I'm like immediately like, okay, I have to unfollow this page.
Here's a good one. The next one is breathe and repeat the mantra and counter effect the negative energy. Just be like...
Yeah.
You know, here's the good thing, which, you know, doing like light work and like energy work and like believing in all this stuff, you do realize that those people that are animal abusers, as bad as they are, they're going to have some sort of karma that comes back and hits them. Everything's full circle. We all
But
know
if
that.
I could, you know, help
Chanel,
that karma a little
breathe
bit, I
and
will.
repeat the mantra and counteractive the negative energy.
Or just, you know,
Step away from what's disturbing you. That's a good one.
yeah.
I've had to do that even with like friendships, where I've
Yeah.
had to be like, okay, it's just, this is too much and I need a minute and I need to go the other way. I've had some toxic friends in the past though, like that I didn't realize how toxic it was. And I'm shocked that I stayed friends with those people as long as I did. Like when you look back at that stuff, you're like, whoa, how did I function that long? Let's see. We're getting there. Limit physical contact.
That, the hugs are a choice thing.
You don't like to be touched?
I don't like physical contact. Only very few people.
Right.
But the hugs thing, like there were people like teachers or whatever that really loved like, oh, I'm gonna miss you,
Really?
or whatever.
I never had that.
And
Must
just
have been because you had a small town.
probably,
Small town.
I don't know. I've just always been weird with like,
Don't let me feel your energy.
Right.
Okay, you're a little close. I guess that's a personal choice. I'm a very in-your-face empath.
You're a hugger.
Not really a hugger. But I am,
No?
like, I want to see into your eyes. You know I'm like that.
Yeah.
You know I'm like that.
Yeah.
Like, when fans
Well, I
have
think
even...
we have pretty good eye contact.
No, well, I think you, Kat, and I are all, like, very, very...
We get
We're
it.
soulmate different, like, very different, best friends. But, like, even when people, like, fans run up to me, I feel like I'm the kind that, like, I can really see through a person and their intent. And I think that's why I get so close to people, is I want to read their energy and I want to really look in their eyes. Because I feel like it says a lot about somebody who can't look you in the eyes, and somebody that, like, if their energy's, like, all over the place. And so I think for the reason I'm that way, it's a little different. It's not like I'm trying to, like, be up in your business. It's
Yeah.
more of me, like, trying to read you. Like, I do get nervous, though. I've had some people bum rush me in public.
What is that?
Like, remember when I was in that psychic store and
Oh.
everyone started screaming and that freaked me out.
I
got really withdrawn that day.
honestly, I'm horrible with eye contact with, like, strangers.
Right.
Because I think that that's such an energy exchange. It's
Really,
like-
I don't think you are.
Really?
Yeah, you're like the quiet one that's in the corner that's like just staring at everybody. Like when we filmed the
Yeah.
pilot. You remember what
okay.
happened?
Yeah.
You were like
I don't know. Maybe I just don't, like,
Maybe that's in
realize
your
I'm
head.
doing it.
No,
Maybe.
you do eye contact, but you watch. You're a
Yeah.
watcher. Like you don't want people in your space, but you're gonna watch them. Oh my gosh. Alone time again,
Yeah.
which that's Chanel loves. I mean, nature, earthing, practice earthing, moon baths.
Ooh.
Moon baths are good.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Now I want to go swimming at night.
take time from being online. Okay. Recently, Krystal just wiped her Twitter feed. And I did it last year at this time too. Last year was because of Harley. And I wiped it again this year. And I had a bunch of people being like, "Oh, you're trying to like hide your tweets." And I'm like,
So
I have
what?
nothing to hide.
Yeah.
There's nothing to hide. I just needed to hit the restart button. And I feel like any empath that's ever had a hard time with life, like, because real life happens to all of us, it's kind of fun to hit the restart button once in a while, right? Kat, did you just wake up? Kat's online, everybody. She just woke up. So anyway, what do you think about it? You weren't listening, were you? Taking breaks from being online. Do you think it was bad that I wiped my Twitter?
No, not at all.
I'm allowed to hit the restart
For
button.
people who think it's a bad thing.
I am allowed.
Do what it is that you feel you need to do for you. Don't. It doesn't matter what anyone else
Right.
thinks. you
No.
know?
We're almost done. I don't know. We've already talked about this.
You have.
I want to talk about Sabrina for a minute.
We haven't finished it.
No, we're not done. Spoiler alert.
Shit.
If you don't want to hear about it, we're just going to do like a 10-minute chat about Sabrina, okay? 3rd season. We were obsessed with the 1st season. The 2nd season was pretty good until the final episode was a little weird,
Yeah.
right? And then 3rd season happened, which is on Netflix. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this, don't listen.
Watch this. Yeah.
What happened?
Look, here's my thing.
So Sabrina, let's recap Sabrina real quick. It's a dark, witchy sort of series. It's about the actual comic book series. Sabrina is half human, half...
Angel, I guess you could say.
yeah,
Because
technically her
Lucifer's-
father is Lucifer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how that happened. Well, we do, but anyway. And so she has these special abilities, and she's constantly being torn between, real life, her family of witches who are like satanic witches, and then becoming like a satanic witch herself. There's a lot of dark humor involved. The first few seasons were fantastic. This 3rd season, we have one more episode to watch, so we're not completely done yet. This has been... It went wrong. Kat says it went wrong.
I honestly am intrigued by it. I think the reason that I am is because it just was so, like, different this season that I'm like, where are they trying to go with this?
There's
you
a
know?
lot of Disney motifs involved,
Yes.
right? There's there's some supernatural occurrences from the show. The Stanley Hotel with The Shining, there's some mods to that.
Yeah, there's like references to classic horror movies too. Like,
Oh, yep, the creature from the Black Lagoon
Yeah.
somehow showed up in it. I have no idea what's going on. So I don't know. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
It's just, you know what I do hate? There's something I do hate.
What do you hate?
The musicals have to stop. The musicals have to stop.
Honestly, I knew. A part of me knew that Sabrina was going to go down the route of musical because, number one, in the second season, they ended it with a musical.
Ugh.
Number two, these are from, like, the same creators of Riverdale, and there's a lot of musical numbers in Riverdale. And they make references in this season, too, more references to Riverdale, which makes me wonder if they're going to merge somehow.
Right.
Which would be cool because I've watched Riverdale.
Right. I've seen parts of it. It's good. I just need to finish
But,
it.
yeah, I don't know. I think I just
The
kind of want to
musical
see.
is too much.
They've
Too
introduced, what I do like about this season is that they introduced a lot of different gods. So you've got like the god Pan, you have pagans coming in, which they
Is Pan
kind of-
in this season?
is yes, ish.
Is Pan the god?
Pan is the god Pan, the Green Man. They introduced him as well.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. That's, I don't know.
There's a lot of loose ends that haven't been tied up, and that's why I was so shocked we only had one episode
And then
left.
there were Bible references.
a lot of biblical references.
Like Judas and
I
what
don't
was
know.
the other one?
Kat knows. I don't.
Yeah. I don't know.
Kat thought those were cool though, because
Yeah.
she studied it like hardcore, and they were pretty on topic. I think specifically like they had it down, but I don't know. The musical, there's a lot of cheerleading, dancing, singing, and it's like
I wonder though if they're introducing so many of these different things, if they're trying to kind of get away from like the satanic aspect.
well, it's a few things. One, we're third season in with Netflix, which means our budget is probably really high
Yeah.
or decent, right? But don't you think in the first 3 episodes they were clearly using a lot of money for budget? Because there was a lot of Disney references and it was like back and forth. And it's probably a lot to shoot. Like imagine what your
yeah.
shooting schedule looked like to do
Yeah.
like Disney references, and all of a sudden it just kind of stopped.
Like there were Alice in Wonderland references, right?
Yep.
I don't know.
I think there was Beauty and the
I
Beast.
guess I'm just curious, why are they referencing so many different...
Well, you can't
things.
say it's Disney because technically it's what are they from? What's the book that they're all from? Grimm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But of course our mind goes to Disney because
Right.
Disney did it like crazy.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's definitely not my favorite season. I think season 1's my favorite, season 2 is my second, and this is definitely my third favorite. So we'll see. Judas and
Pontius Pilate.
yeah, King
Yes.
Harold. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. Some strange things going on. So anyway, you should watch it if you haven't seen it. The first few seasons were really good. If you like dark humor and stuff based on like witchy paranormal stuff, there's a lot of like demons involved. It's funny, comical. Like when the sleep demon
Yeah.
comes in her house, that's
It's
pretty
almost,
funny.
It's almost like they're kind of picking fun at the darker side of things.
Well,
which
it's almost like
which is nice.
It is nice, but it's almost like saying like, yes, paranormal exists,
Right.
but don't take it so serious, which I feel
Exactly.
like is that's probably why we like
Yeah.
it, because that's how we interact with it. So anyway, if you haven't seen it, you should see it. We're gonna do a giveaway for a couple people. Chanel is here. Shanae
Hi.
is Channel Cherry here. Can she come to the front? She's going to do a couple of random tarot pulls for people,
Yeah.
if that's cool. If you're interested,
So I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm reading whatever card comes up. I'm gonna read from my phone.
It's fine.
because, your girl isn't.
she hasn't memorized it yet.
Yeah.
So if you guys want Chanel to pull a tarot card for you for a reading, please put me ! And we'll pick a couple of people.
All right.
And we'll do that before we end the stream. She has her fancy schmancy tarot cards.
That this girl bought for me.
I don't know who she is. I think she's a hoe.
Oh.
Oh my god. Nobody wants one? Why don't you pull a card for me?
For you.
I'm scared. I'm gonna get the death card.
Oh, interesting.
What?
I was gonna shuffle again, but I feel like I shouldn't.
Okay.
King of Wands.
Oh god, this is gonna get really personal
Ready?
here.
This
okay.
is the card for Krystal.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
King of Wands with this card. It looks like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm scared.
Oh no.
I'm scared. Everyone prepare yourselves.
King of
This
Wands.
could be anything.
We're loading.
Okay.
Stand by. And there we go. King of Wands. Upright.
Mm-hmm.
Represents natural born leader,
Mm-hmm.
vision, entrepreneur, honor.
Okay. Well, that was pretty good. Thank you. We can stop there. Just stop. No. What else?
The King of Wands represents pure fire energy in its masculine form. Unlike the other wands, court cards, the king is not so interested in creation and creativity or in dreaming up ideas and implementing them himself or herself.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, he or she is more inclined to take an idea and then enlist others to help them actualize it. Thus, when the King of Wands appears in a tarot reading, it is a sign you are stepping into the role of a visionary leader, ready to direct your people towards a common goal. You have a clear vision of where you want to go, and now you are manifesting that vision with the support of those around you.
Okay.
Others naturally gravitate towards you because you are charismatic, focused, and
I'm
determined.
charismatic.
And they believe in you and your vision.
I'm determined. Do you believe in my vision?
I do.
Do you? Is that why you moved across the United States?
I mean, I didn't do it for nothing.
Just
you know
a
what
little
I'm saying?
bit, you know?
They want to be a part of what you're manifesting and are here to support you 100% of the way.
Okay.
You are also masterful at getting other people to do your work for you.
What?
While keeping them on side.
Well, I
throughout the
mean,
process.
Kat did kind of drag me through December by herself. I don't know how she did that. She still has my foot. She's pulling it. You know what I'm saying?
Tarot's like that one. Just like calling you out.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying?
Thank you,
Okay.
Kat. I
All
appreciate
right,
you.
so let's do Diana. She was the first one to say me.
Yep.
So, Diana, this one's for you,
All right,
my
here
girl.
goes. It's going to be a good one. Let's go.
Ready? Let's see. What does Diana need to know? Seven of Swords.
Okay.
Okay. Looks
Mhm.
like this. This
Me
is
hold
for
it up while you do
Diana.
Hang on a second. I have my tea in my hand.
Seven of Swords.
Mm-hmm. Those are pretty cards.
They are pretty. All right. Upright. Betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically.
Hmm.
Traditionally, the Seven of Swords indicates theft, betrayal, deception, and trickery.
Uh-oh.
You may be trying to get away with something and are sneaking around behind other people's backs, hoping to go undetected. If you are lucky, you might get away with your secret intact. But if you are unlucky, others will soon find out what you have done, causing you shame and embarrassment. Be aware that any time you use cunning or deception to gain an advantage over someone or something else, you are at risk of being found out. And even if you are not, the cover-up will require a tremendous amount of effort, and it may not be worth it. Alternatively,
So the reversed. Should
What?
you try the reversed as well, just in case that one doesn't seep in?
Resonate?
Yeah.
you may be the victim of someone else's betrayal.
Okay.
Others are not being candid with you, and you may be unaware of their lies and deception. You may trust someone who then turns out to be running their own agenda, leaving you high and dry. Look out for any sneaky behavior and listen to your intuition when something does not feel right or seems too good to be true.
Okay.
What does OO mean?
Oh. Okay.
Are you being deceived by someone, Diana?
Okay,
Who is
next
it?
one is Krystal Shivers.
Krystal. Okay.
Krystal.
Krystal.
What does
What does
Krystal need?
to know?
It's brewing. It's brewing.
Oh, Six of Pentacles reversed.
Okay. So it is reversed, but she'll read both sides just in case. Those are pretty cards.
It's Pentacles, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Six of Pentacles. Huh. I've never pulled this card. Interesting. So,
Someone else just said interesting.
reversed self-care, unpaid debts, and one-sided charity.
Mhm.
The Six of Pentacles reverse reminds you to make sure you are also giving to yourself. A little self-care will go a long way, especially if you have been in a giving mood for a long time. Consider buying a little gift to show yourself appreciation for everything you've done. Maybe a massage, a beautiful box of truffles. I almost said turtles.
Do not kill the turtles, okay? Do
Don't get
not
a box
put a
of
box of turtles.
Unless
Put them
they're alive.
free in the ocean.
Or simply write a love note to yourself saying thanks for everything. The Six of Pentacles reversed can also suggest that while you are giving to others freely, they are not giving back to you.
Ooh, mood.
For example, you may lend money to a friend, but they don't pay you back. Or you help someone out, but they fail to return the favor and show lack of gratitude and appreciation.
Ooh.
It's a one-way street, and you may feel as if they are taking advantage of you. While you can't change the other person's response or force them to repay the favor or the money owed, you can learn from the experience and decline to help in the future. Boundaries, my friends.
Boundaries.
All right.
We all need a little self-care.
We need a little self-care. Why
Okay.
are you laughing, Krystal?
Maybe she's like, that was pretty accurate, man. Okay, next one is Allie.
Allie.
Mm-hmm.
What up, Allie? How we doing? What does Allie need to know?
What does Allie need to know?
Ooh, Allie. The world
Ooh,
reversed.
reversed, okay.
Interesting.
I don't know what reversed means, but I do know what regular the world means. It's a pretty good card, usually.
So we were in the major arcana, right?
Yeah, that's a major arcana card, isn't it?
Oops, shit.
I mean, just
My
kidding.
bad.
It's fine.
Oh,
The world reversed.
give me a minute.
Did you click the wrong one?
Yeah. The world. Okay, here we go. Reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Seeking personal closure, shortcuts, delays.
It's a mood.
The reversed world card suggests that you are seeking closure on a personal issue. Perhaps you are still emotionally attached to a past relationship and want to move on.
It's a mood.
Or you dream of the day you can fit into your old skinny jeans but realize that your metabolism and body shape changed in the last 10 years. Who knew that bodies changed?
That's true. It sucks.
You know deep down that to accept and embrace where you are now, you need to let go of the past and move on. Finding closure may be an intensely personal journey, something you manage through journaling, visualization, energy work, and therapy. The world reversed can signify that you want to fulfill a big goal or complete a big project, but you're not taking all the steps necessary to get there.
Bam.
As Chanel runes crystals.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Don't worry.
All right.
Wouldn't be the first time you
what
shut
deck
down.
do you have?
Peter.
It's beautiful. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, this deck is.
I can't remember who the woman is that
That's the top of the
everything.
cards. Yeah.
um
I can tell you, I bought them for Chanel on Amazon for one of her past birthdays, but I don't know what the deck's called either. They're pretty.
so
Okay, giveaways. All right, that's it. Any last things to say, to chat about? I think that's all I have for the night.
me too.
Okay, so
Just put your bubbles up, everyone.
bubbles up. If you have to step away
But
from
also-
social media, do it as
yes,
an empath.
Yes.
That's what we're saying.
Especially this week after everything.
Yeah. Well, and even today still felt like it was really slow-mo with the Kobe Bryant thing, and like it was kind of like walking through mud.
Yeah.
So just be very cognizant of how you're feeling and your energy feels,
Yes.
and what you need to do to take care of it, right?
And if you need a mental health day, take it.
Yeah, that's okay to take
know.
multiple if you need to, like away from people. Just like shut it out and done. Okay, I want to shout out to our subscribers and viewers. Thank you guys for joining us so much. We appreciate you. Thank you to my co-host Shanae, aka Chanel Sherry,
Hey.
for being here with me. Kat, we hope you feel better. We will
Yes.
see you on Wednesday. She'll be with us. Please remember to search us on social media under Ghost Girl Diaries. Look for Krystal Leandra, Chanel Sherry, and Kat CORMIER. or you can find us in our info box under Twitch and YouTube below. Please show support for our streams by subscribing to our Patreon and our Twitch. Our next stream will be Wednesday, which is Screaming Room.
Screaming Room.
Should be really interesting how we feel about that, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Booze and reviews. And as always, we will catch you guys next
Next
time.
time.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.